Hey guys, it's Verbal Engine 95 recording live from your local county prison cell. You'll notice I'm in a different location right now, and yeah, I'm looking fresh as fuck right sorry, I'm doing something today later, and I'm sorry for the wait. Was really busy last week, and I'll get you another video this week, don't worry about it. So, yeah. But, this is gonna be a bit of a doozy. Right now, okay, this fight is gonna be Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat versus Haku from Naruto. Before you say anything about how it should be Glacius or how it should be, I already have a fight for Glacius, and I would do that next, but I don't think I should. Just because of the backlash. And instead of putting Glacius in a fight right after, I figured this one's actually pretty suggested, so I might as well. Okay, so Sub-Zero. Former member of the Lin Kuei before it disbanded, and then when it reorganized, he became the Grand Master of the Lin Kuei. Ice Ninja. That's really all that's really all you can say about how they don't explain it very well in Mortal Kombat. You can just use ice. Like, what the fuck, It's not... Now, I will say this. Because of MKX and the having multiple variations of each character, that has actually boosted Mortal Kombat characters a lot in terms of death battles, because they can do all of those things. So, like, for instance, Jax, you can, just through these variations, you can clearly see his grappling background. You can clearly see, the extent of his cybernetics, and you can clearly see that he has a lot of weapons. And that's just, now they may have been separated into variations, and you may have to pick one in the game, but as far as Mortal Kombat overall is concerned, it's not that hard to... Now, Jax has been, like, boosted in each area. And it's not really that different from, like, Deadly Alliance, where each character had a weapon, either, so... Whatever. Anyway, point being... So, with Sub-Zero, speaking of Grandmaster, yeah. That Grandmaster I know a guy who trashes me every week, with the Grandmaster Sub-Zero, and, there's all these... So Sub-Zero, all of what he can do with his variations would probably be included. Plus the fact that Sub-Zero has been very up and down. Anyone else remember that time period Sub-Zero looked like the Shredder? You know what I'm talking about, with the old PS2, GameCube, Xbox era games, where he had, like, the mask that covered his... And he had, like, he looked like the Shredder! He did! He, honest to goodness, looked like the Shredder. Anyway, so... I think everybody should be familiar with Sub-Zero's cryomancy or cryokinetic, whatever abilities. I guess it is magic, so, is cryomanceric? Would that be the word? Is cryomanceric abilities? I feel like I'm gonna make that word up. I feel like that's a word. That should be a word. Cryomanceric. His cryomanceric abilities are, should really be just common knowledge to anybody who calls himself a gamer now. The ability to freeze people and, or at least freeze the outside of their bodies so that they can't move, being able to make duplicates of himself with ice, being able to freeze someone solid and then shatter them. Of course, having like Scorpion having the strength to rip the human head off of a body with the spine attached, which he did first, by the way. Scorpion did not do that first. Sub-Zero did it first. So yeah, doing something like that, yeah. Now let's move on to Haku. Peasant born in the village of Snow, brought under the tutelage of Zabuza of the Mist, taught to be a killing machine, found out she had Lekeke Genkai, from her clan, so being a bloodline trait, she became an insane, like killing machine. The fact that she can move almost faster than the human eye can follow. Almost is the key word. And the fact that she uses, things like Senbon and Kunai instead of, a big, like a sword or anything, make her especially dangerous because, if she carried like a big weapon like Zabuza, it'd be easy to see. You'd see her while she does it. But carrying small little needles while moving that fast, you're not going to see any of these attacks coming. Also, being a medical ninja, being an elite medical ninja from the village of Snow, it is her job to know every precise detail of the human body. So she knows just where to hit you, just where to strike you. She knows just what to hit to keep you from moving, just how well you'll be able to move after you're hit like that. She's up on this. But, of course, wouldn't be a Naruto character without her own signature jutsu, without her own signature, style of movement. And I think she's still the only Naruto character, aside from, I think, Orochimaru when he got his arms sealed away. Still the only Naruto character that I've ever seen do hand signs and focus chakra with one hand. And she did get brought back for a while, so good on her. Haku being able to do the 1,000 Needles of Death when any water is nearby. Basically, taking water around her, putting it in the air, freezing it into big needles, and not unlike something Sub-Zero would do. Freezing it into large needles and, spiking the person down with them. Then there's, of course, the crystal ice mirrors, where she forms mirrors of ice around you that she can actually walk through. Now, the explanation is that she's moving so fast that you're just seeing her reflection. No, come on. She's clearly moving in and out of these mirrors. That's the Kekkei Genkai. Which is really... The mirrors themselves don't really do anything. It's just it's just like an environmental advantage to her. Anyone she gets caught in that is her prey. They're in the Cobra Pit, and, they're a mongoose in the Cobra Pit. She can come out... She can... Because these mirrors are almost impossible to destroy. To the point where even fire can't break through them. And... with her being able to protect herself within the reflection of those mirrors, being able to move in and out of them, and being able to just strike wherever, whenever she wants, at her speed, is an advantage that almost nobody would would be able to walk away from. The only reason she lost at all was because Naruto has Nine-Tail Fox Chakra. Sasuke pretty much did as close... Sasuke was as close as you could get to killed. To the point where he was, I think, he was dead for a good, minute or so before oh, ninja bullshit, I'm alive. So anyway, who's gonna win between Sub-Zero and Haku? I'm gonna say Haku. I think Sub-Zero is the better fighter, having been actually trained in ninjutsu and everything. Whereas Haku isn't really a ninja. She's just, I mean, she's a ninja in the sense, in like, label, but in term of actual like practice, she's not really a ninja. She's just a basic assassin. Now, I'm not glorifying ninjas. Ninjas were assassins, ninjas were thieves after the feudal era. But, she didn't go to like a ninja school. She wasn't trained to be a military ninja or anything. She was just trained by Zabuza to be an assassin. She was his, weapon of mass destruction. So, I will say Sub-Zero's the better fighter between the two, but just in terms of physical ability, Haku's got him beat. And, I don't see Thousand Needles of Death doing much to Sub-Zero, because again, he can make very similar things. Hell, in MKX, he squashes your stomach, pulls out the fluid, and freezes it really quick to stab you. So, I mean, he can make similar stuff, and he can make weapons and everything out of ice, but Haku's speed is going to be the biggest issue with him, and if she can pull off that crystal ice mirrors, it's game over. There's nothing Sub-Zero can do about that. So, I realize a lot of you may not be, wanting this fight, but hell, after Knuckles Donkey Kong, I think we can get some leeway on this. And plus, I've got a fight with Glacius in it later, so I didn't want to do Sub-Zero Glacius. So, anyway, Verbalinja 95. See ya.